Hey, what is up everyone? DiscussionVerse here today to talk about Creature Commandos and episode 5 and 6, as these are pushing us towards the season finale with episode 7 scheduled for next week. Now, this series and the episodes continue to be truly phenomenal and a true work of art to introduce the brand new DCU and make it very seamless and introducing an organic world where everyday superhero, metahumans, magic, all these sorts of things do exist, and the public generally is accepting of it. Though before we get into that, quick reminder here to like, comment, subscribe, as this is the road to 500 subscribers. Your continued support will help get the channel there, so thank you once again. With that out of the way, let's get right into this breakdown. Within this episode, we see Rick Flag Sr.'s team up with Eric Frankenstein and their attempts to clear up Princess Ilyana and her country because of the accusations received with the vision that Cersei showed Waller. If you do recall from the previous episode, Dr. McPherson was the one to confirm, quote unquote, that the vision that she showed Waller was in fact a true one, and that there is no doubt to not believe Cersei. But Rick Flag Sr. and Eric Frankenstein notice something is up when they're tracking her and tailing her at the university that she teaches at, and then they follow her home to find a crazy discovery. McPherson is dead. She's been brutally murdered by Clayface, and Clayface has been posing as her the whole time and was the one to confirm the vision to Waller. And now, because of those visions, Waller has ordered the commandos to go and take out the princess and all her forces that are protecting her at the country. So this is getting pretty crazy, and we can see why Rick Flag Sr. would want to stop this, because he's seen that everything is not as it seems. It's apparent here that the commandos and Waller might be truly mistaken in taking out someone for no true reason, but there are some things that are still questionable, and I guess we'll see that play out in the season finale. With Rick Flag Sr. discovering that Clayface is taking the identity of McPherson, things really start to go south real fast, as Rick Flag Sr. and Eric Frankenstein are pitted against a fight with Clayface, and Clayface does prove to be very brutal, and he breaks Rick Flag Sr.'s back after a hefty beating, leaving Rick Flag to be hospitalized. Even though Eric Frankenstein does defeat Clayface using his ability to conduct electricity, Rick Flag Sr. is still left brutally beaten, though Eric Frankenstein does take him to the hospital in order to be treated. As this all starts to go down, things also start to go real south for the commandos, as Rick Flag Sr. had tipped off Princess Ilyana that the commandos are coming and they're going to try to kill her. So she has her soldiers and knights aware of the situation, which gets them into a whole scuffle. But it's pretty freaking awesome to see, and I do love the showcase of Dr. Phosphorus's powers. The double bird into the kills was pretty sweet, and the cherry on top for sure, though that did leave the commandos split up and now on the hunt, because the princess has now ordered them to be killed on sight, especially after they brutally attacked and killed most of their soldiers. So now that's where things leave off for this episode. Then we go into episode 6. As we follow this team that is split up now, Weasel does befriend a wolf pack. Now, while this is a really cute and fun side plot, it doesn't really serve any significance for the episode itself. Now, with the bride and Nina, they end up going and hiding out in a brothel, which is really interesting because at a certain point there are clients that do enter and start causing trouble. Now, with the clients, it's revealed that they are in fact metahumans, which is hammering home this whole idea of the world building that's going on in the new DCU under Gunn and Warner Brothers. So with this new DCU, we're seeing how it's just an everyday occurrence to run into anybody from metahumans, magic, or any sort of other thing that can't be explained by natural means. The public is already used to it, and I think that is going to serve very well, not only for this show but other properties. We already see this with Superman. We're going to see this with other shows and movies like Batman Brave and the Bold, The Lantern Show, and etc. I think that's a very good premise to build off of and use as a way to segue and build the cinematic universe that you want to do without getting sidetracked and losing any value to what you're doing and trying to build everything towards a team up movie. From here, we do get to the heart of the episode, and this does have to do with Dr. Phosphorus, or Alexander Sartorius as he was known before he got turned into the radioactive metahuman. While he is on the run from the knights that are patrolling the city, he ends up encountering a Pokolistani child who in fact reminds him of his son and the life that he had before. Sartorius was in fact a nuclear scientist who agreed to work with the mob boss Rupert Thorne in order to develop a cure for cancer using nuclear fusion, though with the funds being directly tied to a fascist regime. And not only that, Alexander knows that their plans are to use that for other nefarious purposes, and his wife comes from a background where she experienced that. So in order to not only protect the people that are innocent, but also to uphold his wife's honor, he does in fact falsify research. But of course, Thorn and the suppliers are well aware of what he's trying to do and do want to teach him a lesson. So they murder his family, they murder the wife, they murder his son. And not only do they show him this, they also put his hands in the blood and they put his hands on the quote-unquote murder weapon in order to frame him after they're done murdering him, which they try to do by throwing him into his own equipment that he was using for this research. But the thing is, he ends up becoming a radioactive metahuman and takes up the name Dr. Phosphorus. From here, we get an awesome sequence where Dr. Phosphorus gets his revenge. He takes out Thorn and his family, and he also takes out his henchmen, and then takes over his business, and along with his henchmen and his whole operation. But we then get the best cameo ever from Batman. Yes, well, at least his silhouette. We don't get a really great look, but that is purposeful, right? Because, again, Gunn is trying to tell us, hey, these heroes and superheroes, metahumans, whatever, they all exist and they are known. Since Dr. Phosphorus or Sartorius was operated out of Gotham, of course Bruce Wayne Batman would be aware. So then that's where we get this awesome cameo. This also establishes in the canon for the new DCU that Batman did in fact take Dr. Phosphorus into Belle Reve and is the reason why he's in prison there. Along with this, James Gunn recently did talk with Rotten Tomatoes TV on a YouTube interview how he approached the Batman and how he wanted it to be a silhouette, because originally with this episode there was going to be a lot more seen of him and a lot more shots other than being in the shadows, and Gunn explains how this was done because he is not 100% on how certain things are for how he wants Batman to look in the new DCU. So with the animated shot and the cameo in this, it serves a purpose in terms of the world building to show, hey, yeah, Batman also exists, and yes, the people of Gotham do know that there is Batman out there. But he doesn't want to give everything away and show off the costume that they're going to do, color schemes, things like that, right? So it's totally understandable that they did it this way, to where he appears more in a silhouette, to where you could barely make out the colors or anything. But I do think he has a blue cape, which is what I'm going to be going with moving forward. But other than that, there's nothing definitive that we can get out of this to say for the new DCU Batman that we'll expect with not only the DCU, but Batman Brave and the Bold, which is also a scheduled movie in this new cinematic universe. Now, back in the present, Rick Flag Sr. is hospitalized and was brought there by Eric Frankenstein, but Eric Frankenstein didn't stick around. He hijacked a jet, he killed some people, and he forced the pilots to take him all the way to Kolistan in order to get to the bride and fulfill his side of the mission, which is reuniting with the bride, not necessarily stopping the commandos. All the while, we do see the commandos reunite, and at the same time that they approach the castle, the princess does in fact have all her soldiers ready for battle. Now, this is where the episode leaves us at, and it is a huge cliffhanger. Even though we have the facts here of Clayface impersonating Dr. McPherson, who was the one to convince Waller that, hey, what Cersei showed you was 100% true and lead to World War III. But then at the same time, that was showing that Cersei and Clayface were likely teamed up together in order to facilitate that whole scenario. But then at the same time, I still don't think that the princess is entirely off the hook and innocent as she is made out to be. I still firmly believe that James Gunn does in fact have a huge twist lined up for episode 7, which is going to be the season finale. And then after that, we're going to have to wait for Superman in order to see more of this new DCU. I really cannot wait until the season finale and episode 7, which is going to be coming out next Thursday. So of course, be sure to have your notification bells on for that video so you do not miss it, because I will be going over that 100%. With that being said, that does wrap up this video here for episodes 5 and 6 of Creature Commandos. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Then turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.